a leak over here on. I wonder if that cable is damaged. So I've got my mate John here. He's looking at the fridge for us. He's re-gassed it, but he's just going to pressure test it because he's not really happy with how it's looking. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully we get it sorted today, but if not, we can drop around to his place in a few days' time and get a bit more serious with it. So yeah, let's see how we go. He's just getting some nitrous so he can pressure test it. So John's found the problem. It's a leak over here just on this expansion chamber. He's going to have a go at fixing it. Hopefully we can get it sorted. It's a bit tricky because we can't get it out properly to make it easier to fix, but if anyone can do it, John can do it. Let's see what happens. This is a very tricky bit of work, and it's having to braze the joint that's leaking in a very tight spot. Not easy at all. So John has fixed the leak. There's a kink in a line that he wants to fix. We're going to come back to that another day because he's got to get the copper. But for the moment we'll run it, see how it goes, and hopefully we're all sorted. Well, in keeping with what seems to be the theme of this trip, got problems. This time it's the fresh water pump, the one for the kitchen. The pressure switch on it is not working reliably, so I'm going to have to pull it apart and see if I can get it working, and I'm thinking that I'm going to need to source a new switch for it, but in the meantime I want to get this one working, so I'll show you what's happening. This is the pressure switch here on the bottom of the pump, and if I give this a jiggle, the pump will start working. Now, I have had this apart before, and the problem seems to be that the contacts in the switch have kind of eroded, so I've just got to take it apart and try and clean up the contacts. So I'll just disconnect it so that doesn't try and pressurize the system while I've got the switch apart, and some water's going to spurt out of here as I undo this. As the pressure relieves from the system, actually I could just do this. Yeah, that'll release the pressure. Let's just send a little bit of water into the shower tank, and of course now that I'm out here lying on the ground, it's trying to rain, but that's okay. We'll just take this inside and work on it inside, and then bring it back out and put it back in once we've got it sorted. Okay, so the switch comes apart, just taking these two screws off here. Thank you for your applause.
You're welcome. I know you're recording.
Like so, and there's a spring inside here. So there's a diaphragm in the bottom of the pump which presses on this, and the spring is on the other side of that. That presses on there. No, that doesn't press on there. that presses on there. That's how the pressure of the pump is adjusted. But there's an arm over here which presses on the switch. So if I pull this switch out of here, there we go. So it's just a regular switch, and if I push the rivet out of here, which I've already had out, I can take the cover off the switch, and you've got this contact here, and this is the problem, is the contact here and the corresponding one in here kind of get eroded if the pump is not having a good time. So I'm just going to try and clean that up, hopefully get it working again until I can get a replacement switch. Clean up this contact with the emery board. Okay, so that looks a reasonable amount better, so we'll just try putting the switch back together and see if the pump works now. That was a bit of a mongrel of a thing to put back together after I'd taken it apart, but the action is now correct. Just hoping that the contact is working properly. So we'll finish putting it all back together and put it in and see what happens. Get the switch back up into place. Drop the switch, pick it back up, make sure it's clean. It's a little bit awkward with this pipe from the grey water tank in the way, but it is what it is. Nice and tight. Get the wires plugged back in. Oh, that doesn't feel right. Ah, that feels better. And when I plug this one in, pump should start running. Pushed in properly. It's a bit awkward because of this pipe that's in the way. So yeah, there we go. I'll just get on this other one as well. Alright, let's go and see whether the pump runs properly now. Alright, let's see if it's working.
Okay.
Yeah, but more importantly, the pump is running.
Woohoo! The pump is running.
It was going to run. Water was going to come out because it had already pressurized, but the pump is running. That's what we're after. Alright, so sorted for now. So the latest drama I'm having is the OpenAuto Pro installation is not booting past this screen. So I'm going to have to pop this out of the dash, pull the SD card out of the Raspberry Pi and reflash the installation. I think it's the main problem, the main pain with it is it means I don't have a reversing camera, which I've been doing without for the last few days, but I really want to get it sorted, so we'll pull it out and check it out. I've reflashed the drive and now we see whether it's going to boot properly. Okay, well that's looking promising. Let's choose English. So I'm basically going to have to configure OpenAuto Pro from scratch. Some of it I think I probably won't be able to do without a keyboard, which I don't have, so I'm going to have to see if I can borrow a USB keyboard from somebody. But from here I input the serial number and do the configuration again. So it boots now, and I've done as much of the configuration as I can for the moment without a keyboard. So I'm going to have to come back to it when I've been able to borrow a keyboard from somewhere. No, he's not playing my game now. Here we go. Well, I've decided that this switch from the water pump is just too unreliable. I've nursed it through. It actually started playing up about a year ago, so it's just too unreliable now, and decided that while we were in Melbourne and it's easy to get a replacement, I would do so. So I've been to JCar, bought a replacement for $4.20, and while I was at it, decided I'd get a spare, so I've got two. So now it's chuck the new one in. This morning I bypassed the switch to get us water so that we could have breakfast and just do the things that we need to do in the morning. So now I'll put the new switch in, remove the bypass and get it all working properly. And then hopefully that's our water pump issues sorted. To bypass the switch, I just jammed some wire in the ends of the spade terminals. So if we can compare the new switch with the old one, you see that there's an extra terminal on the new switch. That's no problem. It's a terminal we're not going to use anyway. We'll just cut it off. Small mod, and then new switch is the same size, so it should all just fit in there and work. Pump comes up to pressure, it presses the switch and opens the circuit, and the pump turns off. So alright, that slides in there just fine. Sounds good. Put it back in. Melanie? Yeah? Can you please turn the water pump on? The moment of truth. Yay! It works. Okay, pretty pleased to have that sorted now. Nice simple fix in the end, but you know, you've got to actually do the work, so pretty pleased to have that done. And yeah, on to the next thing. And this is where we're currently camped at Akuna Park.
Hello. Hello.
Just out for a walk this afternoon alongside Cardinia Creek. We just happened upon this bridge, which is the way back to the campground, with Kookaburra sitting on the handrail. Take off soon.
Quite big, aren't they?
I've got OpenAuto Pro working for navigation, but the day-night mode isn't working, and neither is the reverse camera. I checked my code, everything looks right, so I'm going to have to pull it back out of the dash, see if I can figure out what's going on there. Maybe I've disconnected something accidentally when I've been pulling it in and out, so I need to check that. I can hear the relay clicking when I put it into reverse, and I can hear the relay clicking when I turn the headlights on and off. So that part of it has to be working. So yeah, just not sure what's going on there. The shutdown script is working, so when I turn the van off, it shuts down as it's meant to. So yep, pull it back out, see what happens, see what's going on. Okay, it doesn't look particularly good. I wonder if that cable is damaged. That would be a pain in the neck if it is. It's on pin 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's not, it's on pin 5. Checked in my Python script here, and it's definitely looking at the right pin. I've also checked the pin that the headlight is on, and I had miscounted before, so I was setting it to the wrong pin. So I now need to set that to pin 8. There we go, it's in night mode. Day mode. Right. Okay, so that's that sorted. Clutch in, let's go to reverse. It's not flicking to the camera, so let's get out of here, because it doesn't use the OpenAuto Pro camera mode. It uses camera in the Raspberry. Sound and video. There's something in here, I now recall, there's something in here that I need to set. Camera controls. So I'm just letting it do the updates. It does mean that I have to leave the motor running. If I turn it off now, it'll shut the Pi down in the middle of the updates, which I don't really want it to do, so yeah, patience is required. If I chuck it into reverse, so this way the tree is on the correct side, but the back of the van is here. It's kind of back to front, but it would work. For some reason it's not working with my script, which makes me think the script is probably not running, so I need to do a little bit more testing with that to see why the script isn't running. But if all else fails, it works kind of as it is. Well, it's New Year's Day today, so Happy New Year. Fun fact, the Cardinia Creek behind me here is home to platypus. Not that we've seen any. Anyway, today's our last day in Melbourne. We begin our trek back to Darwin starting tomorrow. That's going to be up through New South Wales and Queensland rather than through South Australia. But that will also be in the next video. So that's the end of this episode. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a little bit different. We've sorted most of the issues that we've had with the van, and we hope to make the trip back without so many issues like we had on the way down. So anyway, Happy New Year, and remember, be kind. Catch you later.